Good morning to all our Pathways people. Marty Kazmersky here, and I will be the online worship leader today. And during the service today, I recommend that you have your screen set to speaker view so that when our speaker speaks, you can see her over the slides instead of everybody, but you decide how you want to look at it. Thanks for attending our Zoom Common Ground service. Common Ground, in every way, shape, and form, is our celebration of worship for people of many paths who are gathering virtually to seek to share in responsible search for meaning and truth. Pathways is a warm and open community where all who come with open minds and kind hearts are welcome, regardless of age, ability, race, gender identity, or sexual orientation. We hope that all who join us today find this a safe online place to worship. Today's service is brought to you by the word joy, a noun, the emotion evoked by well-being, success, or good fortune, a state of happiness or felicity, a source of cause of delight, a feeling of great pleasure and happiness. From a Social Distance is a parody based on the original song written by Julie Gold in 1985 and recorded by Bette Midler in 1990. You will recognize the tune when you hear it. This song now takes on the unprecedented disruption of daily life taking place all around the world with a grin of sense of and a sense of determination. We modified it for our service, but you can go online and find the original one with a couple words missing. There's no words on it for us to sing with, so today we're just going to listen to it, enjoy it as Pat Humphreys and Sandy O of Emma's Revolution sing it for us.
From a distance, we will stop this thing. It's already really grim. From a distance, we'll make the best of things while social distancing.
the grief in Wuhan, Tehran, and Rome.
From a distance, we can change this world, motivated by pure greed. We need someone smart,
Someone science-based.
let Tony Fauci lead. Now you're watching us. Now you're watching us. Now you're watching us from a distance. From a distance, that's where we've got to stay if we want to make it through.
From a distance, wave, smile, or namaste is the safest thing to do.
From a distance, we can change this world, make it better than it's been. Be the voice of hope.
Be the voice of peace.
Join as one, let's begin. Be the voice of hope.
Be the voice of peace.
Join as one, and let's begin. Keep on watching us. Keep on watching us. Keep on watching us from a distance. Keep on watching up. Keep on watching. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Keep on rising up from a distance.
Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Our gathering reading, Wind, Water, Sun, was written by the Reverend Seth Carrier Ladd. Wind that whispers through the willow trees, sun that sustains us, water that washes over willing earth and weathered stones, a smile shared and savored, a child's squeal of delight as she dances through the daisies and daffodils, a quiet joy of gathered community. This is the spirit of life and love that we call forth now into this virtual gathering. May the Spirit infuse our hearts, fill our souls, and carry us forward like a wave on the ocean as we enter now into this sacred time and place. We light a flaming chalice in worship to create a reverent space for reflection, prayer, meditation, and singing. Read along with me the words written by Ben Sewell, a lifelong Unitarian. Out of the darkness, light. Out of the light, warmth. Out of the warmth, joy. And out of the joy, togetherness. May this flame hold us for the time that we are here with one another. I invite you to join me in a renewal of our sacred promises. Please read along with me. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament. And service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve the human need to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus we do covenant with one another. As social isolation goes on longer than we expected, or at least longer than I expected, we need to be reminded that all will be well. So sing along with this beautiful video, All Will Be Well, written by the Reverend Meg Barnhouse.
I said, Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. And Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. She said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. I said, Julian, do you not know about sorrow? And Julian, do you not know about pain? And I said, Julian, do you not know about hunger? And Julian, do you not know about shame? But she said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. I said, Julian, do you not know about loneliness? And Julian, do you not know about disease? And I said, Julian, do you not know about cruelty? I said, Julian, it's too much, it brought me to my knees. But she said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. She said, no one does not know about sorrow, and no one does not know about pain. She said, no one does not know about hunger, and no one does not know about shame. And she said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. And she said, no one does not know about loneliness, and no one does not know about disease. And she said, no one does not know about cruelty. She said, I know, it's too much, it brought me to my knees, where I heard, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. I said, Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. And Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. She said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. And she said, baby girl, do you not know about tenderness? She said, baby girl, do you not know about friends? She said, baby girl, do you not know about the Spirit? She said, baby girl, do you not know it's only love that never ends? And so all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. And so all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well.
And now our call to worship reading. Cloak yourself in 1,000 ways, still I shall know you, my beloved. Veil yourself with every enchantment, and yet I shall feel you, presence most dear, close and intimate. I shall salute you in the springing of cypresses, and in the sheen of the lakes, and the laughter of fountains. I shall certainly see you in the tumbling clouds, in brightly embroidered meadows. O beloved presence, more beautiful than the stars together, I shall trace your face in ivy that climbs, in clusters of grapes, in morning flaming the mountains, in the arch of the sky. Today's speaker, Christine Tata, preaches in the virtual churches just as happily as she did in the physical churches, with perspectives she has gained from an improbable succession of pastoral, artistic, academic, and professional careers. Now, there's only one mission for people of faith: to ensure that justice survives. Follow the Dr. Reverend Sparky on medium.com. That's Christine's alter ego who writes satire and spirituality, because life is just too important to live without laughter. Get ready to reflect upon your longings and reconnect with your purpose in today's sermon, Limits of Your Longing, with Christine Tata. And now let's welcome Christine.
Thank you so much, Marty. You're going to preach with me, as we work through this wonderful topic, the limits of your longing. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy that you're all here as well. It starts with this poem by Rainer Maria Rilke. And so I have to read the poem first, one time through, just so you get a notion of why I have this on my heart, as the evangelical preachers say. Let me read the poem first, and then Marty and I will go through it with images and thoughts to share, because what I'm going to do is talk to you about this origin story that I have, because my origin story sort of connects with your origin story, Pathways origin story. But listen to this poem, and you'll see why I think it motivated me. It's called Go to the Limits of Your Longing. God speaks to us as God makes us, then walks with us silently out of the night. These are the words we dimly hear. You, sent out beyond your recall, go to the limits of your longing. Embody me. Flare up like a flame and make big shadows I can move in. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is ever final. Don't let yourself lose me. Nearby is the country they call life. You will know it by its seriousness. Give me your hand. That's the poem. So that's how Rilke saw the origins of humanity, with God just walking us sort of out of the factory and talking to us as we go. So I'm going to share my origin story, and it touches Pathways' story, because right now, in the middle of this pandemic, the chaos we're in, church out in the world, Seems like we all need to be going back to our beginnings, find out where we are and where we're going and who's with us. So my story sort of intersects with Pathways. It all started in November 2002 when the Dallas Metropolitan Strategy for Growth of Unitarian Universalists had a dinner in Dallas, and kind of a hoity-toity dinner. A friend of mine invited me to go. Bill Sinkford and some others had dreamed up Pathways. You know this. And in about a year, I got hired as the associate pastor for worship and spirit, or spiritual development. And Pathways was going to be different from all the other churches. You still are. At the time, though, the idea was to grow this big church. Going to be a big staff and do bold things. And you sort of were walked out onto the stage of North Texas and Tarrant County, just like the Rilke poem that Marty's now going to show us. Here we go. Because we were told, go to the limits of your longing. God spoke to us as God makes us and walked us silently out of the night. These were the words we silently heard. But let me stop here, because if it's me, it's God talking, all right? And I know that for you, it's maybe the oversoul or the higher power. For everybody today, it's the universe telling them stuff. I don't know, they have it on a t-shirt. The universe told me to get up in the morning and have a bagel. You know, it's whatever it is that made you what you are, sort of telling you, giving you messages, that whatever it is that told you you ate too much today, whatever it is that created you and sent you out to be something today that's beyond what you were yesterday. You see this image. It's the voice that says these things to you, the words that we dimly hear. Well, Pathways was like that. We had a message. Somehow God spoke to the people that created Pathways and said, needs to be something different here in North Texas. Some evangelical church, but with a progressive message. That's what it was. Well, that's what we felt. So then the next thing happened, and it was us. And the poet says this in the next few lines. Marty will show you. You sent out beyond your recall. Go to the limits of your longing. Embody me, God says. Flare up like a flame and make big shadows I can move in. Oh, for me, in 2004, how I longed for that worship. Now, here's what it was at the time. Maybe some of you remember. We were supposed to wait to have our corporate worship. The idea was that we were supposed to gather up groups of people, little shepherd groups, small groups, and meet and have intense discussion and gather members and have sort of a critical mass of people before we had corporate worship. And we were supposed to be learning songs and having, lots of excitement build before we had worship. Well, we just couldn't stand it. So we had worship before we were supposed to. I don't care. I'd do it again. We wanted to flame up. That was the longing that people felt at the time. The conservative churches, the Willow Creek churches, the seeker-friendly churches, they were scooping up people who were hungry to flame up and dance in the light of some higher power. And then we felt that they were then just sort of constraining them with a message that we felt was not as open and as gentle and progressive as we wanted it to be. So that's the niche we wanted to be in. But we did flare up like a flame. There was music and drama and art. We had piano, bass, guitar, drums, and we made big shadows God could move in. And those shadows were the service that we were trying to do, the relationships that we're building, the passion, people put in countless hours the way they're still doing. We worshiped in elementary school lunchrooms, which were sanctified by the smell of gummy bears and fish sticks. We preached an inclusive theology, and it was a theology. We understood that in Tarrant County, there was going to be some God talk up in there, and there was growth. There was. But there were many other things happening too. It was hard to get space. It was expensive. It was hard to get time. Tactical decisions were made that might have been made differently. And the plain fact is that $1 million just didn't go as far as it used to, even in 2004. So as you know, in 2005, the staff were laid off, except for the senior pastor. And then, well, God knows the story. And apparently, the poet knows the story. Marty will show us the next images, and this is what happened. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. Don't let yourself lose me. Don't let yourself lose me. So, I have a second reading. If we pause here, and if you'll indulge me, I've embedded the second reading into this sermon. Since we're talking about origin stories, and since we're playing with space and time, the second reading is from an original text generated in 1990. We're going further back now. And I have the original, but I've just put it up here, and I'm only going to read a little portion of it. Here's the reading. If I had to name the single wound through which we lose the most spiritual blood, it would be the chronic rift between the individual and the all. For many people, the old avenues to God no longer suffice. For others, like myself, being full of yearnings becomes a source of confusion and loneliness rather than the communion that it should be. If there's a simple solution to this basic pain, it may be this, that each person determines where on the planet he or she may best connect with God, best serve God, and then goes there. Well, that was me in 1990. I make it sound very simple, don't I? Just find the place where you best connect with your God or your highest values, the place where you serve best, and go there. Don't let yourself lose me, says God or the universe or the higher power. Well, everyone at Pathways kept going. They had no choice, did they? And I know so much happened to the people here, and a lot happened to me. I didn't serve a church for a long time after that. I did a little supply preaching later on, got a job in the real world, which God tells me through the poet is just nearby. For me, God is still speaking. And if you know my denomination, the United Church of Christ, not the Church of Christ, please, the United Church of Christ, we're the Unitarians considering Christ. And our motto, which is actually something Gracie Allen said, our motto is God is still speaking. And Marty will show us the next images, the next slide, because she'll show us how we imagine it, how the poet imagines it for us. Nearby is the country they call life. You will know it by its seriousness. Well, it is serious now, isn't it? Right around here in life. We have a crumbling democracy. We have injustice and systemic racism. And we're in, right now, with a pandemic, a liminal space where we don't exactly know where we belong. So it does feel, in a way, that reality is just nearby. We're not exactly in it. It's just nearby. And the real world may in fact be here in the virtual world now. I can tell you that our church world, the virtual church, I always want to say the virtual churchual world, the virtual church world, our spiritual world is now undergoing a revolution, because this is where it is happening for us, and we have to now make that real. It's where the spiritual revolution is going to happen, if it's going to happen at all. Because in this chaos, the poet tells us, you just keep going. And you are, you Pathways people, you're still having care teams. You're still feeding people in the food bank. The real work of the church was never to go sit for an hour and have people feed you spiritual food. That was never the real work of the church, and you know that. And by the way, if I just may speak to the harried reasoners for a moment. The harried reasoners were named for that wonderful journalist, Harry Reasoner, who I found out has the middle name Truman. So Harry Truman Reasoner happened to attend West High School in Minneapolis, which was also the high school my mother attended. And I also learned that while he was there, he wrote a piece called The Wench of the Week, which got him expelled. But through the intervention of a good friend, he got reinstated. I just wanted you to know that about Harry Reasoner, because you've managed to make something wonderful about a wonderful journalist that I have a personal connection with. And when I look at that and I realize that God has said to us, this life of yours nearby, you'll know it by its serious, but it's not the only part of life. It's not the only reality. It's a wonderful, wonderful image for me that this life that we see in all its seriousness is surrounded by joy and coincidence. And the fact that Harry Reasoner's middle name is Truman. Elsewhere around this life, the beauty and the flame that dances up is joy. Because you are dancing with God or the universe or the oversoul. And God is with us, close as your shadow. And the last line of the poem, not the end of the poem, but the last line is, give me your hand, God says. And that's where the true joy is, because God doesn't say, oh, I'll walk with you as Jesus walked with you. No, it's wide open. Give me your hand. Just reach out and give your hand to whoever is there. Give your hand to love or to life or to hope, to your brothers and sisters and siblings. You know, in the olden days, 6 months ago, we went and huddled inside buildings to go to church, with doors shut against the outsiders. And now we are all going beyond the limits of our longing. People said God had left the building, and then church left the building. And now I'm quoting Back to the Future now. Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. We just need our pathways through the wilderness that is our primal state of energy and creativity. Time and space don't mean a thing anymore. Flare up. We can be anything. The Church Universal has now entered a state that is new. For the first time, I would say, as a Christian, sort of a mystical person, for the first time in 2,000 years. We are all out past the limits of our longing, and if we do not seize this opportunity now, we'll regret it forever. Because out where we're going, there will always be a hand ready to take ours, ready to bring us joy. Go to the limits of your longing and reach out for the hand that is there and see what happens. I believe that you will find yourself bolder and braver than ever before, and you will flame up, and you will find yourself better and more than ever. And that is my promise to you, because that is God's promise to me. And let it be unto you according to your faith. Amen.
Thank you, Christine, for that joyful message. That was awesome. Now, let's enjoy a song that we can actually sing to and maybe relate to. Won't Back Down.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground. And I won't back down. I won't back. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. I won't back. Hey, yeah, stand my ground, and I won't back down. Well, I know what's right. I got just one life in a world that keeps on pushing me around. Gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. I won't back. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. I won't back. Hey, yeah, stand my ground, and I won't back down. I won't back. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. I won't back. Hey, yeah, won't back down. I won't back. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. I won't back. Hey, yeah, stand my ground, and I won't back down. No, I won't back down.
We ought to make that our official Pathways theme song. Now, we hope that each of you on your individual path through the joys and questions of life found some common ground with your virtual travelers today. Now, as we extinguish our virtual flame, let's say these words together. Let us be vigilant in faith, keep peace in our hearts, and make care for one another the watchword of our lives together. So our light goes out everywhere into the world. We don't make announcements on our virtual services because hopefully they're easy to find. If you go to pathwaysuu.org, which I circled up there, and then you look on the front page and you see the word newsletter. If you click that newsletter, it goes to a page that lists all the newsletters. And the first one, the latest one, should be up on top. If you click the date of the latest one, it takes you to the newsletter. And there you should be able to find all the news that you need for the week. Benediction means good words. And today's good words are coming from Christine again. Thank you. Christine, you're muted.
You would think I know better, but let me say to you all, out past the limits of your longing, there your larger life begins. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror, and may you find your purpose bold and brave and joyful in the presence of the holy, always just nearby, always there to take your hand. Amen, and let it be so. Go in peace.
Unmute and
I
talk.
look terrible. Just like me. No
Isn't
makeup,
it beautiful?
no-
Great service, Marty. Thank you.
Thank you, Marty.
Yes.
Thank you.
Outstanding service.
Wonderful.
Very, very good. Beautiful. You did wonderfully. So did
Yeah, I
Christine.
love
Is
it.
she still here?
I'm here.
Yay. Hi, Christine.
Hey,
It
guys.
was beautiful. Y'all did so good.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
I
It was
agree.
so
Thank
fun.
you.
It was so great, Marty. Thank you. Hey, Nancy. Hey, folks. I remember some of you from a long time ago.
Long time.
Yeah.
Some of us were feeling it with you, Christine, when you were preaching.
It was really something to reach back and think about those times and think about what you've all been through and how you are now. You know, I've reflected there are a lot of churches that have been really caught with their pants down by having to do media, you know, in worship, but not you guys. You already had so much going on. It's pretty impressive, really is. So,
We have some very talented people.
yeah,
Yes.
you do.
Kelly, one of them.
Yeah.
As many as you get.
Plus, we understand what good advice is, and that's to stay on Zoom and not start church yet. Some churches believe that God's going to save them from getting COVID, so we're not. That's not us.
The Lord helps those that help themselves. What I say.
Look, Stan's. Oh, good. Good morning, Stan.
Yes, I'll stay. It's good to see you, Stan.
He's there. Where is he?
He's
He's in a little box.
There he is.
There he is.
Here.
You've changed a little.
Hey, Stan.
He lives in Virginia.
Can't find his
Hi,
box.
Stan.
Say something,
Oh,
Stan.
Oh, I see you, Stan. I'm so glad we have people come from afar.
Valerie's here.
Valerie's here from Virginia.
Yes, Valerie's here.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's wonderful.
We're almost neighbors.
Yeah.
Almost neighbors.
Hey, Stan, say something so your box lights up. I can't see you.
Wave your hands in the air.
So you're back, Stan?
It's too many people. Yeah, a lot of people there.
It's a good problem to have.
Make your box light up.
You guys ever break into small groups during worship?
Oh.
No, during worship.
You can.
How would we do that?
The moderator has to do it, or the admin does it.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but I don't know if it's easy or not. I don't know how to do it, but I know it can be done. But I'm one of those people that dives in and says, "Hey, why don't you do this?" And then I leave.
I think we like
Just
seeing
making
everybody.
trouble.
The host
But anyway.
is a breakout group.
So
Breakout.
which of you is in Harried Reasoners? Oh, okay, a lot. Are you guys are still doing that?
Yes, absolutely.
Terrific.
Absolutely.
Who is in spiritual growth groups?
On my path.
A bunch of you are in
On my
those.
path.
Well,
No matter.
Okay. And who's in the food bank group? Who does the food? Couple of you.
Marge does
There's
that
a need.
too.
They have practice.
That need, yeah.
See enough people to see the ones.
This is our week too, isn't it?
They'll let you see. Yeah.
What else are you guys doing?
Good group.
We give money to Safe Haven right
In
now.
Haven? Is
And-
anybody doing anything with regard to the march on Washington?
I would love to do it, but I can't do it. I
We
did
are
it.
going to be, we're going to be protesting at the big post office on I-30 there.
Oh, really?
Day, yes, 10 to 11.
Awesome.
Mary and Michael and Barbara and I were at the Grapevine Post Office.
Good.
Yeah. We were at we did the Sierra March right after Trump got elected in 2016.
Yeah.
We were there in Washington, D.C. for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to go, but I can't go. I have health issues, but that
When
I
is it
would
gonna
I would
be?
love to go to Washington.
Oh, me too. My husband and I talked about it, but it's like we don't fly, so it's 3 days in the car.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be really
Too much
hard.
going on with too much chaos with the COVID-19.
Yeah. We decided we needed to use our energy on some things locally that
Yeah.
we could maybe have more impact.
Yeah.
Because Texas might be in play in
It
this
could be.
election.
It could be.
Yeah. So
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility. So I feel like we can really make some efforts and maybe make a difference. So that's what we're gonna.
If people don't take the Dallas Morning News, go out and buy it today.
Really?
Why?
The Sunday edition has some absolutely wonderful letters and opinions in the opinion section.
Okay.
And one of them is called 40 Acres and a Mule.
Uh-huh.
And it really goes into the right after the Civil War. It's one of the best things I've ever read about